Okay, so Eagles all-pro cornerback Quinyon Mitchell absolutely made Baker Mayfield eat his words, and you could tell he was salty. Meanwhile, the Jalen Hurts disrespect just reached an all-time high, and now they trying to do the same thing to Devonta Smith, even though a Hall of Fame wide receiver had nothing but good things to say. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and it's the Philly Tall Podcast. If you rock with the Eagles, do me a favor, hit the like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. So here we go again with the Jalen Hurts disrespect. But to me, this got to be the ultimate disrespect, as Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts is ranked 17th in a poll of NFL exec, coaches, and scouts by ESPN and Jeremy Fowler. What is actually going on? No way there's 16 quarterbacks better than Jalen Hurts. And for it to be voted by executives, scouts, and coaches just shows you how ridiculous the offseason is. Now, look, I can go ahead and name all his accolades, right? Been to two Super Bowls, never missed the playoffs, got an All Pro, got a Super Bowl MVP, got a Super Bowl ring, blah 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 blah, but it don't matter. The goalpost is always moved for Jalen Hurts. When he got to the Super Bowl, they said, but he didn't win it. Then he got back and won it, and both times played better than Patrick Mahomes. And now they're saying, but look what he did last year. Duh. No offensive line, the worst coordinator ever. Like, it wasn't just Eagle fans saying it. You had Dan Orlowski, Ryan Clark, any and everybody on TV saying this is the worst scheme. It's predictable. It's this, that, and the third. These execs, these coaches should know that when they game plan for the Eagles, they knew that Kevin Patullo was going to run this, that, and the third. That's it. Simple and plain, right in your face. But that's Jalen Hurts' fault, according to some of these guys. To rank him 17th is just ridiculous. Just because it don't look the way you want it to look. Acho said it best in that Rams game where people say his stats were bad. He had a 44-yard touchdown run. If that was a 44-yard pass, people will be talking crazy about it. But the result is Jalen Hurts scored points in a game where we only won by 7. We needed that. Whether it's through the air or through the ground, Jalen Hurts gets it done. When you look at these other quarterbacks, they got the same coordinator, and that matters too. Not only is this coordinator 2,564 for Jalen Hurts, it was Kevin Patullo. As I just said, everybody on national TV knew that he was going to get fired. He did get fired, and the Eagles offense automatically takes a tick up just for that. I mean, look, shout out to Eagle Muse, the only quarterback with 19,000 plus passing yards and less than 50 interceptions all time, including playoffs. Honestly, we all might be giving some of these executive coaches and scouts too much credit. These guys miss all the time in terms of quarterback. Mitchell Trubisky drafted over Patrick Mahomes, Zach Wilson, number one overall, Kenny Pickett in the first round. Like, time and time again, these guys miss on quarterbacks. And so maybe they just don't know how to evaluate them. And I'm even believing it more, putting Jalen Hurts 17th. At the end of the day, they stay hating on us. I just feel like this is probably the most disrespectful thing. But what happens when people disrespect Jalen Hurts? He responds. He's been doing it for the Eagles, and he's going to continue to do it for the Eagles. So I'm going to love when Hurts makes some of the guys eat their words, because there's always going to be a group of people who just once again move the goalposts for Jalen Hurts. They're going to talk about his defense, the run game, super team this, super team that. Although these same exec coaches and scouts, according to Thomas R. Peterson, hysterically ranked Devonta Smith the 22nd best receiver. Now, before we talk about that, more on Hurts and the fact that Quinyon Mitchell made Baker Mayfield eat his word, let's hear a word from our sponsor, PrizePicks. And I got a 3-pick power play: Bryce Harper, Francisco Alvarez, and Kyle Schwarber on Thursday to have at least a hit each. And to get you started, they are hooking you up with $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup when you use code HMA. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made simple. You just pick more or less on your favorite player's projection and build lineups in a few taps. So, what are you waiting for? Download the Prize Picks app today and use code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Real quick before we get to this Smitty disrespect, because it ties into Jalen Hurts. If he's ranked there, how does he have a super team when he's his number one option? Which doesn't make sense. But to finish this, because it's really all nonsense and we're used to hearing it, maybe not to this level, they got guys on the list above Jalen Hurts who's never won a playoff game. So again, they'll take what they like. We got what we like. And the season's going to play out where we'll see which quarterback went further and who's done more for their team. And I don't want to hear the word super team used for Jalen Hurts on offense this year. Switching over to Devonta Smith, who they got ranked as the 22nd best wide receiver, not even top 20, 21 wide receivers better. I can't name them. We all saw the jump JSN took when DK Metcalf left the Seahawks, and I feel like that's what we're going to see with Smitty. And if you want to look at the small sample size of Smitty doing it without AJ Brown, he gets 100 yards per game pretty much when AJ's not there. Mind you, they got AJ Brown ranked ninth, who was behind Smitty in terms of yards last year until he started crying. By the way, shout out to Madden 27, who ranks Devonta Smith 92 overall, which would make him a top 7 wide receiver in the game. AJ Brown didn't crack the top 100 overall and not even a top 10 receiver, according to Madden, where his overall is only 89 compared to Smitty's 92. So that's Madden understanding what is about to happen. They are jumping on the wagon early, where the exec coaches and scouts ranking Smitty at 22. They gonna feel stupid that Madden was smarter than them. You know who else knows that Smitty's gonna be one of them ones? Terrell Owens, who said this when asked, how are the Eagles gonna be without AJ?
I mean, they got Devonta Smith. I mean, he's always been a number one guy, even when AJ was here. I mean, he could have easily been WR1 in any game. So, again, he's going to show that leadership. He's going to bring those guys along. So, I don't see any drop off. Those guys are going to be fine.
I think T.O. knows a good wide receiver when he sees one. So again, he says there's not going to be much drop off. Smitty's a wide receiver one. He's legit. And so you got T.O. saying it. Madden got Smitty's overall higher than AJ. But the exec, coach, and scouts ranked AJ ninth and Smitty at 22. We'll see what happens. Let's just see what happens. I'm not even here to say that Smitty's going to have the better season than AJ, but he's not going to be wide receiver 22. Lastly, I want to talk about the clip going around. Baker's on that Netflix quarterback documentary and blah, 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 blah. He's talking about this, that, and third. And there's a video of him talking trash to Quinyon Mitchell. I can't play it because Netflix will copyright me, but let's look what was said. The first clip has Quinyon saying to him, stop the bullshit. That's bullshit. Then Baker says, who the bleep are you anyway? Who the bleep are you anyway? Q responded by saying, you know who I am. Baker said, no, I don't. Then, of course, the offensive line came, a little scuffle happened, and Baker said behind the O-line, it's going to be a long day. Come on, it's going to be a long day. Which he was right, but it wasn't a long day for Q in the defense. It was a long day for Baker in the offense. Let's just say for shit and giggles, Baker Mayfield didn't know who Q was, although he watches tape and knows about the best cornerback on the opposing team. But let's just say he didn't know. After this game, he definitely knew who Quinyon Mitchell was because he played so good in that game. He won NFC Defensive Player of the Week with 5 tackles and 5 passes defended. Yeah, no picks, although Jihad Campbell got Baker Mayfield for a pick. Quinyon Mitchell locked up every person that was in front of him. Baker didn't even complete a pass on 2-7 side. So I'm telling you, by the end of the game, he knew who he was, and he always knew who he was. Quinyon Mitchell, Super Bowl champion, all pro, hasn't even been in the league for more than 3 years. You know who he is. This is what he had to say to end the documentary, that he was just letting a young player know that he hadn't arrived yet. Listen, I know you like to talk trash. It's cool. But once you got put in your place after losing that game, not completing passes on his side, remembering who he actually is, you should have just left it alone in the Netflix show. You could have said, I try to let him not know he ain't arrived, but the dude is good. How can you say a young player didn't arrive when he's already an all pro Super Bowl champion? The dude's arrived. Eddie's, well, so humble. He don't think he arrived. But to you, man, knock it off. I love the trash talk, but go ahead and take the L when the L needs to be taken. Be like, damn, yeah, he got the best of me. I tried to get in his head, but he got me. Not, yeah, I felt like saying that because I wanted to let a young player know he hasn't really arrived yet. Okay, Baker. Okay, okay, okay. And they got this guy in front of Jalen Hurts, too. Despicable. With all that being said, I go by Philly Mike. This is the Philly Talk Podcast. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. I absolutely love hearing from you. Like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you know when we drop videos. Swipe over on the comment section and hype up this so we can get it out to more Eagle fans. And I'll catch you on the next one. Definitely, I want to hear from you in the comment section. We out.